Hi guys, Panda again. Okay, so next week I'd like to do a little bit of a challenge, a bit of a sleep out or a sleepover. So basically we're going to be sleeping either in a tent or we can sleep maybe in the sitting room or on the landing or in the hallway. But the idea is we're not going to sleep in our beds, okay? And hopefully we can do this either next Friday night or Saturday night. I will confirm with your parents which is the most. Pause. Right. Yeah, so the idea is we need to sleep. We need to show, one, have fun. Pause that. Hi guys, Panda again. As you can see, I'm not in the house today. I am in a tent. Okay, so this is preparation for you guys having a bit of a sleep out next week or next weekend. I will send out confirmation to your parents to whether it's going to be Friday or Saturday. I'm hoping Friday night, and we can all get together Friday through Zoom. Okay, so it's a bit modern for Panda, but we can give it a go. So we need to talk about our beddings using a sleeping bag and roll mats or some sort of insulation between the floor and our sleeping bag. Ooh. So if you haven't got a tent, don't worry. If it's going to be raining, we don't need to be outside. We just don't want to be sleeping in our own beds. So we can sleep on the landing, we can sleep in the sitting room, in the kitchen, anywhere really. We just don't want to be sleeping on our own beds. We want to try and camp out, okay? So the first things we need to do, one, we need a sleeping bag. Anyone's got a sleeping bag, it doesn't have to be this colour. It can be any colour. The summer has a blue one. I have these ones, these are my new ones I've had. If when we go on camp, you'll need a sleeping bag. Obviously the smaller ones are easier to pack, but sleeping bags come in all shapes and sizes, okay? Make sure your name's on it as well. I've got my surname on there, so I know it's mine, okay? So we're always labelling our own gear. So we need a sleeping bag. We need something else as well to go on the floor. I don't want to be. That's quite cold to touch. I know you guys can't experience that feeling, but that is cold for Panda. So what we have we call a roll mat, and a roll mat is a mat that you roll. Okay, so roll mats tend to be rolled up one way. So we don't want to. Well, I did it that time. Normally, when we have roll mats, we would roll them out, but roll them upside down, so they stay flat. Okay, so this is a foam roll mat. Okay, just a bit of foam, a bit like the noodles you use in the swimming pool for your floats. There's different types of roll mats. Okay, this is a self-inflating. This is Alexander's. This one has a valve on it. Okay, and you open it up, and that has a foam inside, so that'll expand and put some air in it, and you close it off, and that gives you a bit of a cushion, a bit like your mattress in your bed. Okay, so that's another one that you can use. If you don't have any of these type, you may have a camping bed, pop-up bed, but we don't use them on group camp and beaver camps. So I want you to use a roll mat. You want you to sleep on the floor. If you don't have those, you can use cardboard. Cardboard is an insulator as well. Okay, if you put your hands, piece of cardboard, put your hands on it, can you feel the warmth? Try it. It's good. If you've got tile floors in your kitchen or your bathroom, or anywhere it's cold floor, wood flooring, if you put your hand on it, it feels quite cold. If you put a piece of cardboard on there, and then put your hand on top of that on the floor, that's quite warm, isn't it? So we could try that. You could try that. That's insulation. Insulation. Okay, the other thing you can do, if you don't have cardboard, you can use blankets. Yeah, blankets is another one. Okay, so you could use that, and that could be used as an insulation. Okay, sorry about that. We had a bit of a camera issue. So we've got blankets, so you can use that as a blanket, as a ground mat. You can use cardboard as a ground mat. Okay, so we've got a few there. We've got like 4 different surfaces we could use on, but for our purpose today, I'm going to use the old-fashioned roll-out foam ground mat. Okay, but you can use other materials. You could always use another sleeping bag, but it won't. So we talked about insulation. Okay, so the thickness of that keeps you warm. Also, if you're sleeping outside on the grass, it can be a bit lumpy. Well, if there's a stone or a hard piece of soil underneath there, we don't want to be laying on that during the night. So this will help insulate us from the bumps as well. Okay, sleeping bag. I see mine's got some clips on it. Other sleeping bags would have clips. You could have a sleeping bag with no bag on the top. It will look like this. Just have a drawstring on the top. Okay. Modern sleeping bags are slightly different to the older type. When Panda was in cubs, I had a sleeping bag that I had to roll up really, really tight, and I had the smallest bag. It never understood why you had to have a small bag when the sleeping bag was so big. I'll show you later why modern sleeping bags are so much better. Okay, so we just basically lay our sleeping bag out, nice and neat, ready. What should we do with this bit? So this is our sleeping bag. What should we do with this? This is the first thing that we lose when we do sleepovers, when we do camp, and it's quite important that you want to put your sleeping bag back in it later when we go home. So what I would do, and I recommend you all doing it because Panda checks when we're on sleepovers now, is open your sleeping bag up, put the bag in the bag. So that will go all the way down to the bottom. When you get in, you'll push it to the bottom of your sleeping bag. And Panda doesn't feel this one, okay? So you guys won't ever touch the bag at the bottom, so it's not going to affect your sleep. What else could we use when we're sleeping? What do you reckon? What do you guys have in your beds at night? So you have your duvet, your blankets. Pillow? You need a pillow. I think we need a pillow. Our Panda needs a pillow. So I've got a pillow. So when you come on camp, you can use a pillow. You can bring your own pillows. This is one of Alex's. Again, I borrow a lot of Alex's stuff. So you can use a pillow. My sleeping bag has a hood. So we just basically put that in there. So now I've got a pillow inside my sleeping bag, ready for me tonight. Okay? If you don't have a pillow, what else can you use? You can use rolled up blankets. This is one of Summer's princess blankets. You could use a blanket like this. But that might all fall apart. So, because we know where our sleeping bag is, what you can do is use with your towel or a blanket or your spare clothes for the morning. You can always use, if you didn't have a pillow, you can always use your bag as a pillow, okay? So that's a good way of keeping all your stuff together as well. But I have a pillow, so I don't need that. It's just in case. So I'd like everybody to demonstrate to me that they can put out a sleeping bag. We'll do this on Zoom, okay? So we can all talk. You can all talk to Panda and the other leaders. We want to make sure that you have a roll mat of some sort, yeah, insulation between the floor and your sleeping bag. Your sleeping bag made out, a pillow if you have one, or you can make a pillow like we did with the sleeping bag. Okay, so and in the morning, once you've had a lovely sleep, because camping, you sleep so well, we want to pack up. I might have a cat in a minute in the tent with me. Over the Oh, I didn't put it back in, did I? So, there you go. That's why you put your sleeping bag in the bag. Otherwise you don't know where it is. Okay, so I mentioned earlier when Panda was a cub, my sleeping bags were very old, and I had to roll them up really tight, and I had to get my friends to sit on the bag while I tried to hold it open. We tried to push it through. We must have spent ages on camp doing that, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to play. Modern sleeping bag materials. Okay, this is a bag, but they call them stuff bags. Why do you think they call them stuff bags? Because you get the end of your sleeping bag and you stuff it in. That's basically what you do. So you grab your end. I always grab the end, so the foot end of the sleeping bag. So if there's any air in it, it'll escape through the top. So you get your stuff bag and you literally just grab stuff. Grab a bit more, and stuff. And a bit more, stuff. And you just keep doing that. Panda would normally be kneeling up at this point, but my back is still healthy, so I can't do that. So all we're doing is stuffing it in the bag. Okay? So all you guys can do this. I know some of you older ones in Beavers have done it on our recent sleepovers, and I've been really impressed. Okay? Alright, and then this one has a little top cover, so I can squeeze my sleeping bag a little bit more. I've actually just brought another one for myself. This is Alex's. What have I done here? There we go. Oh, well, right, so we've got all our clips. And you can pull them all a bit tighter. If you were trying to pack it, if you had to put a kit bag, so when you got to scouts, when you do your trekking, and you have to carry all your stuff. Brilliant. So there's that. And then we've got our roll mat. Well, I think some is decorated with those bits of stickers. I think I've had the big stickers. Okay. And then we tie that down. Right. Okay. So that is it. That is all we want to talk about. Is really I need to make sure that you guys can make your bed. So that's make a bed on camp. So making a bed to sleep out either in a tent like this, or I'll show you another tent in a minute that we can pop up, and I'll show you that one as well. Because this one has, where have you seen this saggy material on Panda's head? So Panda can't stand up in this part of the tent, but this is the bedroom part of the tent. So you guys that have gone camping before in tents would know about these, where you could have gone with your mums and your dads. But this is your bedroom part, so it's like another layer, another insulation layer within the tent. It has a zip mesh on the door, so you can have it open to let light in, but it stops all the bugs coming in, all the flying bugs. When we are in a tent, we don't want to be touching these if we can help it. We especially don't want to touch this part of the tent, the bedroom part, with the outside part of the tent. Because if you touch the outside part of the tent and it's raining, then water might be able to come through. Okay? So that's a bit of the tent history, a little bit of the tent savvy, if you like. When we do come into a tent, you can see Panda's got no shoes on. Hi Summer, you're in the video now. Right, what are you doing? Come and sit down. So yeah, so when you come in and out of the tent, you don't wear shoes because shoes can cut. Like I mentioned before, if there's stones underneath your tent base, and if you wear hard shoes, you can cut holes into the lino, into the base of the tent. So that's why we don't wear shoes. Okay. Well, we don't wear any shoes, do we? Yeah, I'll say this tent is lucky. It has a bedroom. It has a bedroom, and then everybody's coming in the video today. So that was our silly cat that seems to like camping. So Summer and Alex, who was in here on Friday night. Hello. They're on here Friday night, and they did a sleepover for the scouts, and Alex cooks and they put the tent up themselves, and they did a fire pit of marshmallows and everything. But what we're going to do, Summer, can you sit down? Right, so this video is obviously chaotic, so hopefully when we do it on, it's either Friday or Saturday night, I would like to just go through our sleepover, okay? Then we can mark that down as nights away. So any questions, make sure you write them down, okay, for Panda, and then you can ask me by yourself on Friday or Saturday night, whenever I confirm that we're going to do it. Hopefully I'll be out here. If there's a big thunderstorm, then I won't be, because it might play havoc with the connection. Okay, I'm guessing I will have probably Summer in with me at the same time. Are you sleeping out? Yeah, she's sleeping out, so she'll be sleeping out. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to stop now, and then 2 seconds by magic, I will be stitched in and you'll see me again, and I'll be putting up another tent for you to have a look at. Okay, see you in a minute. Hi beavers. That's magic. We just come out here and Summer's got a tent in front of her. So Summer, do you want to open that tent up? So this is what we call a pop-up tent, and you'll see why in a minute. Some of you, the girls in the group, may have used this tent on our sleepovers in the church hall. So what do we do? So she's going to unwrap it, and now Summer's going to put this tent up all by herself.
I'm just going to lay down.
Ready? Right, lift it up. That's it.
Boom.
Right, there you go.
It's
Look,
filling up the
Summer
entire screen.
Summer's put her own tent up.
It's not mine.
Right, okay. So what else in the bag, Summer, do we need?
What are they, Summer?
Right.
The cat went in.
Yeah, there's a cat in the tent. Right, so we've got a beaver in training, have we? Come on, out the tent, madam.
Stevie.
Right, so we're putting up any tent. This is the pop-up tent, because you saw why it just popped up. But we do need to make sure that we peg it down.
Cat went back in.
I know, we'll talk to Stevie in a minute. Okay, Alex.
Yes.
On these, we've got orange guide ropes on this one, but on this bigger tent here, we've got the white guide ropes. Now, any of you beavers know why we use guide ropes? It's a question. I'm not going to tell you why. You're going to tell me when we do our Zoom call. Okay? So why do we use guide ropes? There's two reasons, I think, really. Two big reasons why we use guide ropes. So the second one might not be as obvious, but if you do a lot of camping, your parents do a lot of camping, they'll tell you. Okay, so Summer is, do you want to have a look at Summer, what she's doing? So she's putting in a couple of pegs there, look. That's it. So Summer's not pushing them all the way in, but she's just literally, you can just push them in there. So you can see that that's not going to go very far. So Summer, would you like to go in this tent?
With a cat.
Okay.
Yeah, with the cat.
I'll go in the cat, and then Alex, you can zoom, you can follow her in, sort of thing. See how big it is. So this is a two-man tent.
Gone through me.
Yeah. You want to get in as well, and then you can face out. You want to be in the doorway. Right.
Too small.
It's a two-man tent, so you can. Oh,
I can do
this.
this.
In as well, a little bit.
It's only a two.
Right. I'm just in. But it's a two-man, it's meant to be a two-man tent. So what Panda says is, if it says a two-man, it's good enough for one person. If it's a three-man tent, it's probably good enough for 1.5 people. If you see a half person walking around, give us a shout, because I haven't got a picture of that yet. So if it's 4-man, it's a 2-man. So but it's half what they recommend. But if you have a look at, if I have the phone a minute, I will show Summer lying down. Okay, and Alex lying down. So you can see there that the kids, these two can get in the tent. But if you appreciate, if they have their sleeping bags, they have their clothes, they have their day bags, where would they put it all? So yeah, so it's a bit tricky really. Right, so
ends lifting.
I think that's the
while
end
we
of this
talk.
one. I won't even demonstrate how you close one of these tents up because it's a bit comical. Okay, we'll see you another time. Bye bye, guys. Hi guys. Well, it's only taken me about 20 days to put this away. Right, so just to catch up on what we need to do, I'm going to put this away in the bag a minute. I want you to get everything ready. If you've got sleeping bags, if you don't have a sleeping bag, you can use blankets or you do be downstairs. I'm hoping everybody's got sleeping bags or access to a sleeping bag we can use it. I'm going to try and let's do it for Friday. Bit of brainwave. I know it's VE Day Friday, so that's 75 years. Okay, so we're going to celebrate that. So we can do our sleepover and then we can have a little chat about that as well. Some little information from the leaders. I'm going to gather some information about our history. And if your parents have any history they'd like to share as well, we could do that. So when we do the Zoom call, got to make sure that your mums or dads or there's an adult in the room at the same time. Okay, it probably will be because they're going to be, you're going to be on a phone or you're going to be on a PC. Okay, and you dial in. So I hope that's been interesting for you today. With the sleeping bags. Summer, can you stop trampolining? Right, okay, well that's it. Let's call it a day on that. I'm sorry about the cat, I'm sorry about the kids. Sorry about taking 3 weeks to do this. It is quite tough. We weren't going to film me putting it together because I get quite cross with them. They're absolutely brilliant idea, pop-up tents. I just wish they popped down as well, but they did. Okay, see you soon guys.